In this video, I'm going to show you 2 tips and tricks that make presenting from the iPad much easier. The first one of these is something that can really drive you and your students crazy, and that is as you're walking around and using the iPad in different ways, you may be turning it. And as you turn it, the orientation on the student's display, whether that's a projector or an LCD screen, is going to also turn, and that can be distracting. So what you want to do is have your iPad in landscape mode, as I have it right now. That's going to give you the best size for your students to see on the TV or however you're displaying your iPad. Then we're going to swipe from the top right hand corner to open up our control panel. You'll see a pad lock with kind of a circular arrow around it. That is the orientation lock. So since I'm in landscape mode and I click that, it is now locked into this landscape mode, and so as I walk around and as I turn my iPad, nothing will actually change on the screen or on the display that the students are seeing. So I highly recommend that. It's easy to turn on and off simply by pressing it in that control center. The second tip is that you want to make sure your iPad is set to not go to sleep, or actually the terminology that Apple uses is to not lock. And that is helpful because sometimes when the iPad goes to sleep or locks, if you are idle, it drops your connection to your Apple TV or to your MacBook if you're using Air servers. So the way that we can avoid that is we can go into our settings and scroll down until you see display and brightness. Then you'll find auto lock, and oftentimes auto lock is set to 2 minutes, and I like to set it to never. And so that way I can just set my iPad down in the classroom and engage with students and have the information that I need displayed up on my LCD screen and not worry about my iPad falling asleep or anything like that. You do want to note that this will drain your battery, and so make sure that if you don't need your iPad to stay awake, that you go ahead and manually lock it if you have it set on never. So those are 2 helpful tips. They are located in your control panel or control center and your settings.